Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe where we help and heal one day at a time. We're going to talk about alcohol and the narcissist, what goes on in their brain when they're drinking, and why sometimes they seem so lovable when they're drinking, but when they drink, sometimes they kind of fly off the handle, lose their cool, get agitated a lot easier. So alcohol is kind of supposed to relax us, gets us in a calm state. We do regardless of who you are, usually you'll lose some of your inhibitions. And so we're kind of similar to them. Um, we can speak a little freer. The narcissist is always afraid of being judged. So they're not quite as worried about being judged at this time. So they can finally let loose, they can be free, they can enjoy life because that inhibition is kind of squashed a little bit. So you do see where they feel good and can express themselves. So that's part of who they really are. Unfortunately, it has to be like alcohol induced for them to get to their inner self. And that's often why they drink in excess sometimes. But also, this is what's pretty interesting is the narcissist, when they're in a state of rest, that's when their levels inside the cerebral cortex kind of go berserk. It goes into overdrive. It's like a hyperactivity that's going on. So when we're drinking, we're settled, not quite as many inhibitions, we're calm and relaxed. Inside their brain, it them drinking lowers your inhibition, but it increases the brain activity that is responsible for these outbursts. So any little thing that might cause them to have to self-reflect, where let's say we're having, I don't know, Super Bowl party and we say like, did you remember to get the nachos? And they take it as offensive. So all of a sudden they go into this rage because already they're in a hyper stimulated part of their brain. So that's caused by being in that calm state from the alcohol. So I know with my first ex, I met him. He was at a divorce party and they were drinking. He was so much fun to be around, just absolutely great. We could talk. He was attentive, silly, and he was a whole different person when he wasn't drinking, like completely different. But I still liked him. And but they'll drink to excess sometimes to escape. I know he only wanted to drink if he could get drunk. And sometimes both of mine had struggled throughout their lives with periods of time that they drank a lot more. They both were able to kind of subside it, but the second one is kind of drinking more again. It's getting closer to his wedding. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. He did say he likes to have a drink after work because it kind of settles things down. But a lot of times they'll drink too much, which brings them into that calm state, that relaxed state. And that's why when you're with a narcissist who drinks, they can get agitated a lot easier because of what's going on inside their brain. So I just thought it was pretty interesting that there are some differences where we relax, we enjoy it. We're not on hyper edge to fight. We're just going through things. But if we do any little even smidge of a narcissistic injury, just saying, "Did you remember the nachos?" Something like that. It can be hyper sensitive to them. And they'll lash out more. They'll get into the rages sometimes, depending on how high that activity level is. So the more drunk they are, the more relaxed they're going to be, which is going to cause an increase in that brain activity. So the more drunk they are, a lot of times you will see fights, whether it's verbal or physical. It sometimes is out of control. Like, where is this coming from? And that's where we seem like off balance. It comes out of nowhere. We're just asking, did you, like, I don't even care. You didn't bring nachos. I'll put out some carrots and dip. We're just asking a question, and they take it because of the low self-esteem, the hypersensitivity, that they just lose their cool sometimes. So be careful if you're with a alcoholic narcissist, and just be aware, if they just drink just a little bit, they're relaxed, their inhibitions are less. So you can kind of get to know them a little bit better. They're not so worried about things unless that narcissistic injury comes. And they take things the wrong way often. So, when we walk on eggshells, that's when they start to devalue us. And that's real easy for them to pick fights, because they're trying to rebalance what's going on in their brains. They are not comfortable at rest, because when they're at rest, their brain is in overdrive. And just like you and I, trying to figure out what is going on, we're uncomfortable right now because our brain is like, what happened? What did we do wrong? Was there, should we fix it? Should we walk away? Did they ever love me? Our brain right now is kind of in overdrive. That's why, we feel crappy, because we're thinking about things so much. And with them, when they're in that relaxed state, they think about things too much, or they get like we go through when we fall in love. We have a different brain chemistry going on. So when they're relaxed, they have a different brain chemistry, and that's what they need to rebalance. And I just thought it was interesting, the effects on alcohol. Sometimes they'll do it to be social, to fit in, or to be the best drinker, or to show off, like, I'll buy everybody around. It's on me. Don't worry about it. Trying to get friends because they want to be liked. And there can be some effects to it. So just drinking, usually you're like, yeah, I just have a drink or two, with dinner. But it does change your brain chemistry. So hopefully that day it balances out to where they can relax. You can get to know them a little bit better because they'll open up a little bit more. But they're also hypersensitive at that time. So you never know when something's going to go wrong, because, they don't tell us like all the things, and we got to think, how do we talk to this person? And that's where it starts to get exhausting to us. And it's almost like no matter what we do, this relationship is probably going to fail. So if you're looking at the new supply, just remember, they're going to go through those same cycles. They do treat different people differently. The new supply will have some differences than you on how they react, what their triggers are. But the narcissist lies to subdue their amygdala, which is in overdrive. So when they lie, it's a chemical thing that goes on in their brain. And that's why they lie so frequently. They're just struggling to calm their brain. Just like I said, when we're in love and then it's taken away from us, it's a withdrawal we go through, because research shows that the chemistry in our brain is similar to being a cocaine addict. When we're in love, and then it's like that feel good. And then when it's taken away, that's when we go through the withdrawal. So the narcissist is going through things too, but just remember, when they drink, it's them being in a calm state, which they can handle it for a little while. But that brain activity is more and more, and the more they drink, the more dangerous it could be for outbursts, physical fights, things like that, because they have a hard time already controlling things. And they're also not inhibited on how do I speak to this person? So they might be harder on us too, shouting cut downs. Like, why are you so stupid? Of course I would get the nachos. What's wrong with you? Do you think I'm stupid? And just making us feel uncomfortable. And we got to come back with, oh, okay, no, I don't think that, sweetheart. I think you're wonderful, and thanks so much. And we can't be us, because it's like, why did you just talk to me like that? But we got to keep our mouths shut. And that's a hard way to live, to not just be able to say, hey, just talk to me nicely. I'm glad you got those nachos. But if you stand up to them, it comes back, 10 times worse. So it's just a point I wanted to make. So please like and subscribe. Comment below. What is your narcissist drinker like when they drink? Have a good day. See you in the next video.